Maybe so for anyone out there who's actively trying to land a better job, like what would you say are like the key steps that should be focusing on right now?
Sure. I think the first thing is defining what better means to you. Because a lot of times clients will come to me and they'll say, I need a new job. I hate my job. And I'll ask them, well, what do you hate about it? And they can't really tell me. So then we start digging into, okay, well, what does the ideal job look like to you? How would you be spending your time on a daily basis? Like, what would you actually be doing? And what are some of the other non-negotiables for you in your career? And so as clients would start like writing out, like, this is what I want. This is what I really love doing. This is where I thrive. Um, I think that that's where we always start because too often people do the outside in instead of the inside out. I like to use an inside out approach to career development. And so instead of like looking at the jobs, like looking at LinkedIn and looking at Indeed and doom scrolling and like, oh, what I could do that or I could do that, and trying to figure out how can I fit myself into somebody else's box, looking inside and saying, what am I good at? Where do I thrive? Where have all of my biggest compliments and wins come from? And so that way we can actually start creating that career from who you are, because then you're going to thrive. You're going to have more success. It'll be easier to land that job because you're like, hey, all these things I've done line up with what you're looking for. So really getting clear, starting from the inside out, and then we do have to narrow in. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they aim really, really, really broad because they think, oh, I'll have more opportunities if I aim at like 10 different titles. The problem is you have to water down your experience to make that happen. Employers are looking for not a jack of all trades. That's like 20 years ago. They're looking for a master of one, right? They want you to be an expert at what you do. And so it's really, really important to once you know this is who I am, this is what I'm great at, this is what I bring to the table. Now I can narrow in on what are those two or three or four job titles that have 70% overlap in the responsibilities. It's that role that needs to be that similar to where you can really market yourself effectively for that role. And once you've done that, of course, that's gonna flow over into your resume. That's gonna flow over into your LinkedIn and your networking efforts.